You're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Hey, Ben, this is Nick from Texas. I just wanted to call because I'm so tired of people, like, it seems like whenever it's their team and that person does something wrong, they make all these excuses for them. Oh, well, they had to do that. Oh, we just don't know what it's like to be here and be that and this and that. I'm like, no, there's a clear right and there's a clear wrong. And me being honest about it is not me being a hater. I'm just being honest. This dude's portraying me, a voter.
Right.
That's really what it is. And they've been using that forever and a day. And it just makes me so mad because I'm like, well, if you just keep voting for somebody, no matter what they do, and when they do wrong, you make excuses for them, how are we ever going to come out of this rut?
Dude, that's an abusive relationship. I mean, that's how do you keep going back to the same people who are hurting you over and over and over again? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, and what's bad about it is I use this particularly about Obama. And I know he's super popular and all of that, but like, in all honesty, 2008 was the first election where I was politically aware, where I was actually to the point where doing research on people. And I was like, hey, Obama's saying all these things. This might be the first time in my lifetime that I see an actual progressive president. I was like, because we've been living with Republicans for 8 years, and then 8 years before that, we had Republican light. I was like, this would be my first time seeing a progressive kind of like the changing of the tides. And then he got in there, and it was just like, he had a supermajority, and he just squandered it. He didn't use it. He didn't take bold stances. He didn't fight. He just kind of capitulated to Republicans over and over and over. And then when 2010 hit, and you see the consequences of that, somehow it's not his fault. It's the voters' fault for not showing up for him. Right. I'm like, well, doesn't the candidate take some responsibility when voters don't vote for you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the number one. You know what? You hit the nail on the head. We are afraid to criticize or critique people that we like. And I don't think go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I would say it's worse than that. It's not so much we are afraid to criticize and critique. It's almost as if, for some reason, in our minds, or I'm sorry, not my mind, because I'm like totally the opposite way, but in people's minds, you have to do mental gymnastics to somehow justify like a cognitive dissonance that you see before your very eyes. That somehow being poverty is not a black issue. That Barack Obama really is a progressive, and he has to do these things because the Republicans made him, rather than face the reality. He betrayed you, and you need to do something about it right now.
Right. So you know what? The problem is exactly as you described. I'm actually reading comments in the chat room. They're loving what you're saying because you're spot on. If we don't have the boldness to take the people we elect and take them to task and hold them accountable, then we give them a free pass to continue doing whatever the hell they want to do. And that's literally what's been happening. You'll never
get anything better.
You're never getting anything better.
And my last thing, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, I'm 28 years old, going on 29. Not very old, but I'm kind of well read.
Old enough.
I have never seen it where a candidate is somehow able to dictate the agenda to the voters. Like, this is the agenda that you have to accept, because that is not possible. It's like, no.
I'm glad
we
you said
set
that.
the agenda. You do it. That's why you're a representative. That's why we vote for you.
Yep.
We're in control, not you.
Exactly. And you know what? That's what the hell is called democracy. Nick, thanks so much for the call, man.
No problem.
I do want to take a few more calls, 857-600-0518, because you guys have been blowing up the lines and I didn't get too many in tonight. I want to take a few more calls. Listen, democracy is from the bottom up. True democracy.